Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, Carnivore, Carnivish people. I fall into the Carnivish. My total carbs are real low today, like 1.3. That sort of stuff it just works for me. You know what one of my favorite sayings is? The promise of a new day. I love waking up. If you're having your first cuppa with me and you've been up for just a little while, it's kind of nice to just think of the promise of this new day. What do you have in front of you for the day that you can enjoy, relish in, savor, make better, all of those sort of things? I really like that. It's the promise of the new day. And so it's like just doing the little extra self-care things that just kind of work, that special cup of coffee in the morning. Don't tamper with my coffee, and then planning what I'm going to wear, what I'm going to do, just getting my attitude right and in place, letting go of the resentments that I may have carried forward. It's like a debt, right? Those resentments, either with yourself or with somebody else, the sabotagers, the food pushers, the ones that know better than you about what you should do for you. Honestly, sometimes it's just a challenge when you think of it. And then other times, it's a perfectly delightful day. And people don't step in your way and you don't step in their way, right? It's just one of those things. But there's always those people that just can't resist letting you know their opinion about what you're doing. Even if they don't know what they're talking about, like those that just seem to be all authorities on keto, carnivore, and carnivish. They always have that opinion that they'll let drop. And sometimes they have extra weight on their own body, or they have their, partially filled shoebox with meds, all that kind of stuff. And yet they let you know what they think about what you're doing for yourself. And it's not like you said, hey, Auntie Ruth, what do you think about my, and then you're looking for an opinion, then you're looking for some feedback, right? But when you're not, and it just comes at you, and if you're one of those that offers your opinion about things, like everybody in the world is your child and needs your guidance, maybe it's time to, in the promise of a new day, think about maybe not letting them know. And it's funny because if you're one of those that always has the solution, the best answer, the right way to do it, if you would just listen to me, giving that up takes time. It's like, well, what do you fill it with? How do you become the person that's not always offering their opinion on something? I know it was difficult because I did have the better answer, the knowledge, the whatever about how it should be. Say hi, Greg. Um, and so it took a while to kind of fill those noise voids with like other things, like maybe a compliment or what are you up to today? Just that raising of your voice and saying, how are you doing today? Do you need me to do anything for you? Could take them aback if they're used to hearing, you're wearing that again? How come you're doing that? You're not putting that in your lunch, are you? Where did you buy that? Oof, wouldn't go there again. Those, excuse me while I pause and laugh at my former self. Yeah, always the better answer. So waking up with the promise of the new day that it will be better because you know better and you can do better. And sometimes the knowing better started a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 weigh-ins ago. And today's one of those days where it's like, yeah, I do know better. Yeah, I might kind of want to sort of do this better. Or maybe just getting a little bit more towards a carnivish lifestyle. It's like maybe all those vegetables that I thought were okay, that were aiding my digestion, i.e. the fiber, maybe they're a little over the top now, and maybe they're not as beneficial as I once thought. I don't necessarily like the term that vegetables are anti-nutrients, but I know that I cut way, way, way down on the volume of those that I have, usually on Sunday. Monday through Friday, I'm pretty much carnivore, except for that 1 tablespoon of chopped green onions and in my scrambled eggs that I have with my meat. But outside of that, it's just nice and smooth sailing. And I do like that little flavoring of the green onion with the scrambled eggs and the cheese melted on top. Yeah, I do. So that's how I roll it. But the knowing better and doing better, sometimes it takes a while from the initial seed planting of the knowing better to get to the doing better. It's like you know it, you know it, you know it. And then you listen to a video and it's like, how weird is this? I'm thinking of doing this, and this video seems to be about it. It's not like I went looking for this video, but sometimes it just happens. And so how cool is that when it's that synchronicity of wanting to do something and getting a little bump in motivation from listening to somebody else or reading something, some daily motivational sort of thing. It all just kind of works. I like that. It's like, how did they know I was thinking that? But it's great. And so with the promise of a new day, I attack it, which is kind of a strong word, and it kind of has a little violent, tone to it. I kind of approach, that's a better word, another A word. I approach the day with just a new way of looking at it, maybe even a slowing down as I look at it and seeing, hey, that works. That's not a bad thing, I can do this. It doesn't mean that I'm going from 0 to 100 with the idea, but I can go from 0 to 25 on the way to 100 with it. And that's really kind of cool. Like, for example, if you have 3 diet sodas a day, maybe going to just 2 and having them, maybe buying the diet soda with a twist top. So when you do begin to cut back, you can do the twist top and then have, 2 that with the twist top, it still stays fresh and bubbly and lasts you. Maybe the same thing with the packets. Instead of having the pink, blue, yellow packets in, without even thinking, just, how we get up and we take our packets and we just go like this. I see them in AA all the time with the sugar and the artificial sweeteners, and they just put it in. What if they cut it in half? What if you cut it in half and, did like, I don't know, wrapped it with an elastic or put a clothespin on it or just something like that, just a little bit less the next day, if that's your goal, and cutting back on that. What if your goal is to not have as many vegetables? Maybe if you move to a smaller plate like I do. I'm laughing because June said, you're just going to stay with that size plate no matter how big the steak is, overflowing it, right? Yeah, that's right. Moving to a smaller plate so what you are having looks abundant. Sometimes when we increase our protein, the plate isn't as full as if we increased our veggies, right? I mean, I used to be a Hungry Girl follower, and she was always add a box of the frozen veggie, like the Green Giant thing, to your other veggies, to just make it bigger, make it expand. And I used to do that and have all those extra veggies, looking for those 35 grams of fiber, of course. And now with less veg, it doesn't take up the plate. And so I moved on into that 8-inch luncheon plate instead of the great big 12-inch dinner plate. And it just works. Of course, it's just a visual. It's still the same amount of food. And it's funny because some people like the big plate with their food no matter what. So it's finding what works for you. I'm one of those, I like the overflow more than I like the wide open space of the plate or the glass or the mug or whatever it is that I'm having. And all of those silly little things just seem to work in my world of making it feel abundant, The promise of a new day. What are you doing for yourself today with the promise of the new day? Is there anything that you're working on that you want to share with us here in a comment? about how, yeah, I woke up and yeah, today I do feel like tackling that thing that's been bugging me or pulling at me, or the seeds have taken root and now something's coming above ground and it's really time for me to address it. You know, you only have to do what you can do in a day. That's the promise of a new day. And going to bed with whatever it is with the ruler, moving it just a little bit further, it's a great feeling. It's like, I am doing this. This is possible. I never thought I could give up, you know, my cups of coffee like this. You know, I could just go a little bit smaller, a different size mug, and that works. Or with whatever you put in it, I can just use a little bit less because now I'm having a little bit less in the volume of the coffee. It just tiny little measurements are going to make a big difference in a week, 2 weeks at the end of the month, right? Yeah, so try it and let us know what it is that you're doing. Okay, so what am I having today? Well, today, these are my macros for the day. I was just seeing if I could make it bigger, but alas, I can't. So my calories for the day are 11198. So call it 1120. Yeah, 1120. And my protein for the day is call it 127. My carbs for the day are total 1.3. I never use net. And my fats for the day are 65.1 grams. And what I'm having today is, it's a fun day. I'm having 2 Pete and Jerry extra large eggs, 1 tablespoon of chopped green onions, 1 slice of organic smoked hickory smoked Gouda from Whole Foods. It's divine. You had me with the Gouda, as one viewer wrote. 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 for the eggs and 1 to heat up. 7-ounce pork chop and a 6-ounce boneless ribeye. I bought 3 of them at BJ's and cut them in half. So I'm having half of one with my pork chop and my scrambled eggs with my Gouda. And it's a wonderful day. So it's also my son's 38th birthday, my baby. So have a wonderful day. The promise of a new day, nothing like it. I love it. It just gives you what you need. It's like, say yesterday wasn't that great of a day. You've got the promise of this new day. You can feel better. You can make it better, and it will be better. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.